There was a time when every morning felt like a race. The alarm would ring, and before I even opened my eyes, I was already checking messages, emails, notifications, a relentless flood of things demanding my attention. The world felt loud. My mind felt crowded. I felt lost. I thought that's what life was supposed to be. Fast, productive, always moving. But somewhere between all the rushing and chasing, I forgot what peace sounded like. I forgot what silence felt like. Every day looked full, but deep down I was empty. Then one morning something changed. I woke up before my alarm. The sun was just rising, painting the sky in soft gold. For the first time in years, I didn't reach for my phone. I just sat there quietly watching the light fill my room. It was such a small moment, but it felt like the first real breath I had taken in years. In that silence, I heard a voice I had been ignoring for so long. What if life doesn't have to be this fast? That single question changed everything. From that day, I decided to slow down. Not to escape life, but to return to it. I started with my space. I opened my closet and looked at all the things I had collected. Clothes, gadgets, souvenirs, things I thought would make me happy. But they didn't. They only made me busy. So I began letting go. One drawer, one shelf, one memory at a time. With every item I removed, I felt lighter, as if each thing carried a tiny piece of my stress. It wasn't just my home I was decluttering. It was my mind. As the space around me grew emptier, my heart grew quieter. And in that quiet, I found clarity. Minimalism isn't about having less. It's about making space for more. More peace, more gratitude, more presence. I started changing my habits. Instead of rushing to check messages in the morning, I began with a cup of tea and a few minutes of silence. Instead of scrolling through other people's lives, I started journaling my own thoughts. Instead of eating in front of a screen, I cooked slowly, smelling, tasting, and truly being there. It was in these simple moments that I started to feel alive again. The sound of rain became music. The warmth of sunlight became a blessing. The quiet became my favorite company. For so long, I believed peace would come after success, after I achieved something, after life became easier. But peace doesn't come after. Comes when you choose it. Peace comes in moments when you stop running and finally listen, to your breath, to your heart, to life itself. One evening, as I sat journaling by candlelight, I thought maybe there are others like me, people who are tired, overwhelmed, and quietly searching for calm. That's when I decided to start this channel. Simple Living Journey. Not to preach, not to teach, but to share my story, my lessons, my little steps toward peace. Because this isn't a destination. It's a journey, one we can walk together. Here I'll share the art of slowing down, how to declutter your space, calm your mind, and live intentionally. You'll find cozy morning routines, quiet vlogs, minimalism tips, and mindful reflections. But more than anything, you'll find a reminder that peace is possible. Even in a noisy world, even in a small apartment, even in a busy mind. All it takes is a pause and the courage to begin again. I know how it feels to be exhausted by life, to want peace but not know where to find it. But you don't need to change your world overnight. Start with one corner of your room, one deep breath, one moment of silence. That's where simplicity begins. Because happiness isn't hiding in the next big thing. It's waiting quietly in the small ones. The sound of rain, a clean desk, a good book, the peace of doing nothing and being okay with it. That's what Simple Living Journey is all about. Slowly I built a life around intention, not chaos. Morning rituals, evening gratitude, journaling, walking, reading. Minimalism, mindfulness, and self-care became intertwined. It wasn't perfect. Some days I slipped back into old habits. But I learned to forgive myself and begin again. Every time I returned to this simple, mindful rhythm, life felt lighter, richer, and more alive. One evening I thought, what if others are searching for this peace too? What if someone out there needs to hear that slowing down is okay? That's why this channel exists. Not for perfection, but for progress, presence, and the beauty of small, mindful steps. If you're tired of running, if your mind is heavy, if you've forgotten how to pause, take a breath. This is your invitation. Slow down. Simplify. Breathe. Notice the small joys. Together, let's journey toward a life that is calm, intentional, and beautiful. Welcome to Simple Living Journey. Let's slow down together.